Hi, Ken. Good morning.
How you doing? How's everything?
Very well, thank you. I know you won't remember this, but you and I crossed paths a number of times during your days with the Yankees. I covered the team for a radio station in New York. And at the time, Ken, as an outsider, I thought that was one of the most dysfunctional things I'd ever seen in my life. You got to experience it from my firsthand perspective. Was I right?
Yeah, it was a little strange. I mean, most of the guys just wanted to play baseball. They were there to play baseball, but there was so many things was going on, and every time we looked up, there was something new happening in New York. So, but that, I look at it now as that was New York. That's the way it was. So I just wanted to just continue playing and play as hard as I could in New York. And like I said, I had to earn the respect of the fans out there because I was considered the enemy, being that I came from the '76 team that beat the Yankees and swept them 4 in the World Series. So I had to earn the respect of the New York fans, which, over 4.5 years, I thought I did.
And as you mentioned in your book, Big Red Baseball, Fatherhood, and My Life in the Big Red Machine, Billy Martin, you felt, kind of took it personally that you guys had swept the Yankees, and there you are in pinstripes.
Yeah, I was in pinstripes, and he came back twice when I was there. So, he took an exception because I was the only guy that was on that 76 team that we swept the Yankees for, and I don't think he forgot it. I think the biggest thing was when the Sparky said that nobody can hold Johnny Bench's, was as good as Johnny Bench at that time, and they had a great catcher themselves in Thurman Munson. So Billy took an exception to that, but I was the only one he can probably take it out on because I was on that team in '76, and I happened to be in New York when he was there for 2 tours. So I think he kind of thought he can, do what he wanted to do and try to embarrass me as much as possible. But as long as I got a chance to play, he couldn't embarrass me, because I was going to do my job.
And you did it pretty well, I might add. We're speaking with Ken Griffey this morning, his brand new book, Big Red Baseball, Fatherhood, and My Life in the Big Red Machine. Ken, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the Hall of Fame. You mentioned in the book that you think Pete Rose, based on what he accomplished on the field, should be in the Hall of Fame. Do you think it ever happens?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I figured that, it was getting a little light a couple of years back when we thought he had that opportunity to get in the Hall of Fame, but I really don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping he gets in before his demise, anyways. At least get a chance to go up there on the podium and then talk to the people about what he accomplished in the game of baseball. But we just have to wait and see.
You mentioned that you knew Dave
in the Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry?
I said I know he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You talk about David Ortiz very, very briefly in the book, saying that you knew him when he was just a baby before he became Big Papi. Does Ortiz make it into the Hall of Fame, do you think?
Well, I think he does. Everything is based on probably what the 90s was. What was it called? The steroid years, or whatever it's called. But everything will be based on that. A lot of the writers may have personal glitches or whatever, but we just have to wait and see. I mean, on the accomplishments that this kid has done, yeah, I think he would probably deserve to go in the Hall of Fame.
And speaking of kids, your own son, Ken Griffey Jr., is up for a nomination, I guess, in just a few years, 2015. If it hasn't happened by then, do you think he has a chance to be the first unanimous, first ballot Hall of Famer?
No, that's going to be that's a tough question. I don't know, because there's so many guys that you're talking about Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Tom Seaver, those type of guys, Steve Carlton, what they accomplished in the game, and they weren't. I know he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, but in terms of the perfect score, no, I don't know. It's going to be tough to say.
We're speaking with Ken Griffey this morning, the author of the book Big Red Baseball, Fatherhood, and My Life in the Big Red Machine. Ken, I came home last night and I had your book with me, and my son, who is 13, is doing a book report for school, and I looked to see what the book is, and it's your son's autobiography, and I thought, wow, that's really incredible. And you talk in the book about wanting to teach your son to enjoy the game, and the overwhelming memory I have of your son is the smile on his face when he played the game of baseball. Whether it was a great throw, a catch, a timely hit, there's that smile that I think of again and again and again, and you could just tell this kid loves to play the game of baseball.
Well, that's what it's about. I mean, I always taught him that it's a game first. You know, and if you play the game as a game, you'll enjoy it more instead of playing it to put unnecessary pressure on yourself that I have to do this, I have to do that, I got to make this much money for the family. You know, if you play it as a game, I always told my kids, if they play hard, play it as a game, they will always get compensated well for it. And that's the way it should be. You got to play the game as a game, and if you do well playing the game, you're always going to get compensated.
You had one of the most remarkable experiences I think a major leaguer has ever had in being able to not only watch your son play at the major league level, but play with your son. And, of course, the back-to-back home run story is just so incredible.
Oh, well, that was an amazing night. I mean, you know, when I hit my home run, and I'm circling third base, I'm coming in the home, and the first person I meet was him, and his concentration level was, at its peak at the time. And I told myself, and I looked at Harold Reynolds, who was standing next to me. We were walking by him, and I said, Harold, he's going to try to hit a home run. And it didn't dawn on me at that moment, and that if he does hit the home run, we'd be the first father and son to ever do that. And Harold said, if he does that, you will be the first father and son to do that. And I said, you got to be kidding. So when it got 3-0, I said, well, Kurt's not going to throw him anything close, McCaskill. Mm-hmm. And he happened to throw him a pitch down and away, and Junior hit it out of left. And when he crossed home plate, he was grinning and giggling and smiling, and first person he was looking for was me. And I was looking for him, too. So, we hugged, embraced, and it was just an amazing feeling that, we accomplished that.
Ken, I thank you for your time. The author of the book, Big Red Baseball, Fatherhood, and My Life in the Big Red Machine. Congratulations on a fabulous career, and best of luck with the book.
Thank you. I appreciate that.